Hello, I'm here today with Joyce Hansen at her retirement party. I'm Pamela Arora, the CEO of AAMI, and I am grateful that you're able to join us, Joyce. It's very gracious of you to join for this interview.
Thank you for joining us for the retirement party celebration, both for celebrating my retirement, but also my career. So Thank you very much for joining us for that, Pamela.
Absolutely, and it's an illustrious career. 42 plus years, 11 of which you spent here at J&J. But what really came out in the course of the evening is just all the cross-industry collaboration and really that path to the patient as far as sterility assurance and the end-to-end process. When you think about young people who are getting into the field, what are some of the thoughts that you'd want to plant with them so that they can be highly successful and continue to grow the sterility assurance?
Thank you for asking that question because when you think about young professionals coming into the industry, young professionals wanting to have, an impact on something or someone or somehow, right? And everybody desires to have an impact with their career, with their work that they do. I would encourage young professionals to kind of take a step back and look at what's your passion. When I look at what my passion is, it's always been about infection prevention. My whole entire career as a microbiologist, it's always been about making sure that the patients, customers and consumers, anyone that uses the products that we manufacture, that I've had the pleasure to work with several companies to really focus on manufacturing products that actually impact and improve people's lives. For me, that's a passion, right? So when I think about young professionals coming into the industry, I want you to think about what makes you passionate about going to work every day. What makes you interested in doing the best that you can every day that you come to the office, right? So once you know your passion, deploy it. Deploy it in what you do. Show people you have passion. And then when I look at sterility assurance or microbiological quality and sterility assurance, because there's a difference for me in that, microbiological quality and sterility assurance go hand in hand. Microbiological quality is a fundamental base that we have to overlay onto it the sterility assurance, which together gives us the end-to-end sterility assurance focus that we've done, for many years. For me, I've done that end-to-end focus of microbiology in a manufacturing environment since the time that I started in 1979. So for me, this is just how I operate, how I think. But I look back on what has been my guiding light, and it's the passion that I have for infection prevention. And I would love to encourage others to join me in having that passion, because if you really start looking at what we do, how we help people's lives, you can make a huge difference in a huge number of individuals to help with what we do.
Absolutely. And I will offer that as various colleagues and friends and across the industry spoke this evening, they talked about that passion that you've been able to spark other people's interest and connect the dots for them. When you think of kind of those life lessons, there's the aspect of focusing in on the passion. I noticed that as they were talking through your career, it really went beyond the boundaries of your organization. Do you have any thoughts to share around the collaboration aspect and how that can lead to bigger things?
Yeah. Collaboration for me is you can't collaborate if you don't have some fundamental basis. Okay. So you're not able to collaborate if you don't have the competency, you don't have the ability to network with your community, and you don't have the ability to really think about this as a career. Okay. So for me, and you've heard me, Pamela, talk about my 5, and now we've gone to 6 C's, right? It's competency, community, connectivity. Those were my first 3. The 4th one was career, and the 5th one was collaboration. So for me, those were the fundamental base. You can't collaborate unless you have these things to bring to the table. Either it's, the competency to share with someone else. It's finding somebody else in a community of individuals. And I have to say to you, for me, that community has started with AAMI. So AAMI, for me, I started in AAMI in 1984. 1984, I was a member of one of the working groups on electron beam sterilization. I
Excellent.
remember my first meeting well. And one of the things I think about when I look back on that and the collaboration that occurred is because I came to the table with my competency, I came with my passion, and I found other people who had competency, passion, that was part of my community and my connectivity with others. And that allowed us to spark how we would collaborate together through using AAMI, through using PDA, through ISO, and really, really collaborate as an industry as well. So for me, that's always been fundamental across my whole entire career, is to really look at that industry base as well as not just my company that I work for. And it's got to be there. So I just said my 5 C's, and I'm going to bring in my 6th C. My apologies, Pamela, because I have to say that one. And that one's the one we introduced at Kilmer this year, which was continuity, right? And continuity is really not about doing the same thing over and over and over again. It's about building the base and building from what you know, which is all the competency, all the collaboration, and really keeping that as a fundamental thought process on how to challenge ourselves to get better and better in the industry. And so for me, they all kind of go hand in hand. And I really look at this as an opportunity from a collaboration standpoint for people to take a step forward. Don't be afraid to really participate on a standards development. Get involved in the working groups that you guys have, that you sponsor as part of the smaller working groups. We have smaller groups that really work on a aspect. If you could get on one of those, that really helps you to see the bigger picture, but it also gives you an opportunity to meet and connect with others who are like-minded and maybe are also young professionals, that maybe you will have the opportunity to grow with those individuals throughout the years of your career. But the only reason why I've had that spark and had the passion, it's all about the patients, but don't get me wrong, I've needed to have other people around me who are also passionate about the same thing to be able to continue to have that ability. And the collaboration really comes from challenging some of the status quo. So think about collaboration not as a way to, we're going to collaborate and we're going to say the lowest common denominator. It's about how to raise the bar for us and for our patients. And when I say for us as an industry, it's about bringing science back into the decisions that we make. That's where the competency comes into play. And then having that opportunity to find others, don't have to have the same opinion, but the opportunity to work with those individuals to have that different opinion, and with that diverse opinion, really to come up with something that will be sustainable for long term.
And it ends up being higher quality and lower cost for the entire
Everyone.
industry, including the patient. And that's that path to the patient. No, it's beautifully said. It is interesting, though, in the course of the discussion this evening, I will say that Joyce's brother offered that there should be a 7th C.
Yes.
And if you want to share that, I think that when you think of all that you've done in your career, and frankly, for the young people that are out there that their careers are just at the starting point, there is that 7C. And that one's a really key one as well.
It was interesting because I actually introduced it at Kilmer at the last session, right? I ended with that at Kilmer. And the 7th C, which my younger brother suggested, and don't worry, he had many other C words that I should consider. But I accepted this one because it's really about celebrating, right? Celebrating the good that we bring to the table, celebrating the accomplishments. And you can't forget to go back and celebrate. Right? You can't forget that we've made great strides. We've done phenomenal things. And I find that people forget the things that we have been able to accomplish. And because they forget that, they see just the hurdles we have to overcome. So we have to celebrate all the little ones as well as the big accomplishments. For me, it's about enjoying what we do and taking that time to celebrate and look at all the things we've actually done so far.
What was clear to me is, as everyone was sharing their stories of working with you over the years, it really has been a celebration all along the way, and people were truly having a wonderful time. And I hear that so many times when people get engaged in standards,
Mhm.
is that it's for a larger purpose, but at the same time, they're really making a difference and celebrating along the way.
Exactly. Yeah.
Well, let's just have you have the last word on this interview. It's been
Okay.
a whirlwind of an evening, and it was an honor to be here this evening to see it all unfold.
Oh, thank you so very much, Pamela. It's an honor for me to have worked for the industry that I've worked with. It again, because I had a passion for infection prevention, I've always been very focused on that. And I don't really care what your passion is, as long as you have that passion and you are able to express that, you're able to get other people to join you, right? And that's
Absolutely.
the whole thing is find what your passion is, express that to others and share that fun and interest that you bring to the table. And when you show that you're excited about things, you get other people around you to be excited. So I would love to encourage anyone in their career, whether it's young or old, to really make sure that you are passionate about what you do, because each and every day, so 40 some plus year, 42 plus years, the only way I've actually been able to continue to be passionate about what I do is making sure that I work with others, get other people to be involved. Um, because my focus has always been about manufacturing, for me, the marriage between product manufacturing and then working on standards to make sure that when we manufacture a product that we're doing the right thing has been phenomenal to keep me technically aspect, as well as thinking about the industry differently, because not everybody has all the same products, and so sometimes there's different viewpoints. But what I would say to you is the fact that when I look back on my career, I don't look back on things that, went wrong and think they were bad. I look back on my career and say, "Yep, I learned something about that." Learn from what you do. We have been able to revitalize this industry, revitalize the passion in what we do. And I feel like that's the part that's needed, that needs to continue on from a continuity standpoint. And I say that because, again, not that we need to continue to do the same thing, but we need to continue to learn from the past and share. And when I say share, I think I wrote something with Emily Craven about a year ago, I think maybe 2 years at this point, and it was all about publishing, right? And sharing your knowledge and sharing the good stuff as well as the bad stuff. So from me looking back on my career, I've not had a smooth sailing for my whole entire career. People are like, look at me and say, "Oh, you've had it easy, Joyce." And I'm like, no, I've not. I've had a lot of hurdles to overcome. But because I look at it as a learning experience, because I look at all of the things that have happened, good and bad, I really feel that that's allowed me to be very stable with regards to having a good viewpoint on what I can accomplish, what others can accomplish, and helping others to do the right things. But share that, I think that would be phenomenal. And just really look at an opportunity to make a difference in something, some person. It could sometimes just be one person. If you make a difference with one person. And why I say that is because a lot of the other things that I've done in my career that I'm also very passionate about, but I don't always talk about it publicly, that has to do with developing people.
Right, the
Right. And I
mentoring
know
part. It came
I've
out.
talked to you, Pamela, about that before, but mentoring others, and mentoring others does not mean you tell them what you want to regurgitate or what you've done and tell them they need to do the same thing. It means that you need to tap into what they want to do. Who are they? Where are they in their career? And really mentor them to help them to do what they want to do, not what you want to do, not what would benefit you, but really what benefits them. And that mentoring comes back to you tenfold, right? You feel so good about it and so good about seeing people develop and expand and grow. And I have to say that of all the things I've done in my life, the mentoring, the people that I've had the opportunity to mentor and coach, sponsor as well, has been a big joy in my life.
Well, it did show this evening too. So many people shared where your mentoring had made a difference in their lives.
Mhm.
And I have a feeling that while you may be retiring, we still will be seeing Joyce, as she has that handprint of helping to bring others along. So we appreciate you, and
Thank you.
congratulations on your lifetime of achievement. But I expect we'll see a few things in the near future too.
I'm hoping we'll do something as we move ahead. So, but definitely look forward to continuing to interact with the AAMI organization, and continuing to be in this career.
Excellent.
So, thank
Thanks
you.
so much.